Hi, welcome back to Philippines on Demand. I've been living in the Philippines for a little over 5 years. Here are some things that I think you as a foreigner should know about the Philippines before visiting or living here. Geography and safety. The Philippines consists of 7,107 islands, 2,000 of which are inhabited, broken down into 3 divisional islands, Luzon, the Visayas, and Mindanao. Speaking of Mindanao, it gets a bad rap for being a very unsafe island to live on. As a matter of fact, the city in which I have been living in for the past 5 years, Davao City, is not only one of the safest cities in the Philippines, but also is one of the safest in all of Southeast Asia. I'll leave you with this thought about safety. It's my belief that safety is a relative term. Much of it depends upon your travel experiences, your comfort zone, being street smart. Before you travel, learn the areas in which to avoid. Even though I feel safe living in the Philippines, I still use good judgment by avoiding certain areas, just as I would back in the United States, by avoiding certain areas in Chicago, Detroit, Miami, Dallas, etc. It's no different here. The other thing I would like you to know is know the people. It's a very prideful nation, a very prideful people, but no more vain than any other country. As an American, of course I'm proud of my country too, and I'm a bit vain about that as well. Herein lies the big difference. As an American, I am very frank. I am very direct with my thoughts and my mouth. I like to pass it off as being cultural, but it is and it isn't. I know many Americans who are just as outspoken as me and who are soft-spoken and conservative like Filipinos. But overall, I believe you'll find Filipinos to be much less confrontational than foreigners, especially us Americans. Filipinos are very conservative, very sensitive people. My advice would be, hold your temper. Check your tongue at the door. Tourists have been turned away at the airports for being rude. Some were deported for speaking badly about Filipinos. Even if joking, keep it to yourself unless you're in a very trusted group, a group of Filipinos who know you and know what's in your heart. It may come across funny if a Filipino says it, but it will go over like a lead balloon coming from a foreigner. Once a Filipino puts you in Tampo, good luck getting out of it. Some may never forgive you. Tampo is what I refer to as word jail. They may not talk to you after you have offended them, especially the pinay. Filipinos are of a kindred soul. They don't like confrontation. They are a peaceful people. They are a curious people. They may ask very personal questions that you would never dream of asking someone in your country. Moreover, it's the same personal line of questioning I get every time I go outside into the city. It does get very trying, but be patient. Just remember, no point in getting angry. Change the subject tactfully. Be very careful when dating. There is a difference between courting and dating. Make it very clear to the girl or the guy, for that matter, that you are keeping your options open. You want to see other people. You have to pound this point home to avoid confusion, hostility, and anger that could come at a later date. Never, and I mean never, let a pinay move into your home with you until you are absolutely sure she's the girl. Because once she moves in, society tends to look at you both as being married. I'd much rather have a king cobra mad at me than a Filipino. The Filipino people, they're a happy people. Despite the poverty that runs rampant throughout the Philippines, I find Filipinos to be very happy people. They are very friendly, very kind. But there is a difference, and I'm going to be very openly honest about this. They are very kind, but there is a difference between being friendly, kind, and first in line. They have a tendency to push their way to the front of a line. May it be boarding a Jeep, trying to get to the front of a customer service line, at the grocery store, or first through the traffic light. Just go with the flow. Remember, it may not be the way. It may not be the way in your homeland, but it's their homeland and it's their way. Control your temper and focus on the cultural positives. Here's a positive, the language. There are approximately 180 languages and dialects in the Philippines, but there are two official languages, English and Filipino, a standardized version of Tagalog. Here in Davao, they speak Bisaya. Because of English-speaking Filipinos, it makes for a very tourist-friendly country to visit or live in. They have a really competent English-speaking workforce. That's why they have a lot of call centers in country. Transportation. As a whole, the infrastructure is underdeveloped. But since President Duterte took office, he has been making sweeping changes throughout the country. You really don't need your own vehicle. The public transportation is plentiful, ranging from jeeps of all shapes and sizes, buses, tricycles, single motorbikes, etc. Getting around, I assure you, is not a problem. Not to mention, very cheap. Family unity. It's normal for sons and daughters to stay at home with their parents even after the age of 18. Most of the time, parents have a strong say about their children's future. It's also normal for the parents to raise their grandchildren while the mother and father work, including going abroad. There is this saying that when you marry a Filipino, you marry the entire family. Now, for me personally, this conflicts with my Western beliefs. There is another saying, though, choose your battles wisely. This one has been mine. My wife and I have weathered many storms over this. We have come to a compromise, a give and take agreement, a middle ground, if you will. My responsibility is to my wife, not to her family and not to my family. You'll probably want to set some parameters, some guidelines as to when you will jump in and help out financially. In the West, I was spoiled. I could leave food out and not worry about the ants taking over. Here, I'll ask someone to cover a food item on the table to avoid the ants. I'll pass by a little while later and would see a spaghetti strainer turned upside down covering a food item. Yeah, a real head scratcher indeed. Or I'll pass by the living room window. The window will be open. That's cool. We need some fresh air. Our windows have screens, yet when I look closer, the screen is open too, thus allowing the bugs to come in and go as they please. I'll ask, why is the screen open? A reply, to let the air in. Another head scratcher. Apparently, the air can't pass through the screen. I never received that memo. Leaving pork out all day and all night and then eating it the next day. But it's still good according to the people from the province. Why? Because it was cooked. Huh? Unsa? What? My brain becomes flooded and overwhelmed with the notion of screens preventing airflow, spaghetti strainers acting as force fields, and contaminated free pork zones. But there is another saying too: a happy wife, a happy life. So choose carefully, learn to be flexible. Now, you've probably heard the phrase, it's more fun in the Philippines. I would like to break that down into two segments. First, there are more challenges for foreigners in the Philippines, far beyond spaghetti streamers. It ranges from the way their medical system is set up, to poor customer service, to poor internet, basically poor infrastructure, to power and water outages, to diseased dogs and cats running about, not to mention not being able to be yourself, because only smiles and nice words are accepted here. There is a saying in the US, it's not what you say, but how you say it. That's not true here. There were times I had to address an unpleasant issue, and no matter how polite I tried to communicate it, it was not well received because the subject matter was negative. So it's not always more fun in the Philippines. Now the other side of the slogan. Overall, it is more fun in the Philippines. The beaches are dotted by beautiful palm trees and the resorts are breathtaking. Karaoke, malls, food and fun everywhere for people of all ages. When I stop to think about other countries and what they have to offer at a very reasonable and affordable cost, the Philippines is hard to beat. I have overcome many challenges of living here, have embraced both the good and the bad that comes with any country. I have a wonderful wife and great friends. I worked at those relationships and cultivated many wonderful friendships in the stores, malls, on the back of Jeeps, and through our YouTube vlog. Don't come here and try to be the culture police. Don't come here and try to change the people. Do come here and embrace everything that is good about the Philippines and her people. The Philippines is a beautiful country with many beautiful people. Embrace it. Embrace them. For me, it's one of the wonders of the world. What do I mean by that? Meaning, I often ask myself, how can a nation be so mired in poverty, yet you would not know it by the friendliness and the happiness of her people? It's a God-fearing, God-loving nation. My learning began once I closed my mouth, opened my eyes, ears, and heart, and learned what true love and loyalty are. It's not the tropical climate, deep blue sea, and palm trees that stand out amongst the Philippines' beauty. It's her people. The Filipino people make it more fun in the Philippines.
Please subscribe to his channel!
Thank you.